More than 50,000 Victorians are needing a free weekly grocery shop to feed their families.
More Queenslanders are taking on multiple jobs in an attempt to beat the rising cost of living. New data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics revealing that despite working more hours than ever before, the average income still isn't keeping up.
Mortgages, rent, grocery prices, and now your electricity bill is on the rise.
There's a promise that's supposed to be at the heart of this country. A promise that if you work hard, if you play by the rules, you can build a good life for yourself and your family. And at the core of that promise has always been a simple, powerful idea. Owning your own home, your own patch of dirt, the Australian dream. But for millions of Australians, that dream is dead. It's not just fading. It's been actively, deliberately, and systematically killed. And the generation that's paying the price is our kids. An engineer, Marco Madoff, put it perfectly online. He talked about his parents' generation, people in their 50s and 60s who bought homes, raised families, and even paid off investment properties, often on a single income. Now look at today's generation. Buried in student debt, working longer hours, earning more on paper, yet the dream of a home is further away than ever. That isn't a complaint. That is a national tragedy. This isn't just a housing crisis. This is the breaking point. This is the quiet collapse of the Australian promise. And if we keep ignoring it, it will shatter this country. But before we dive into the grim reality of the numbers, a quick word. The story you're about to hear is one the mainstream media is too compromised to tell. They'll talk about market forces and global trends. They won't tell you that this crisis was built piece by piece by the very politicians who now pretend to be solving it. We are 100% funded by you, our viewers. That's what allows us to be the resistance to expose the truth without fear or favour. If you believe in what we do, if you want to help us fight back against the corruption and the lies, please consider joining our Patreon. It's the only thing that keeps this channel alive. The link is in the description. Every dollar is a vote for the truth. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't a feeling. This isn't an exaggeration. This is a cold, hard, statistical reality. The numbers are brutal, and they paint a picture of a nation that is eating its young. The average home in Australia now costs 8 times the average income. Let that sink in. The national dwelling value to household income ratio is sitting at 7.9, just shy of the all-time record high. In Sydney, it's even worse.
The housing market is gathering speed, with Sydney prices on a steep rise.
Our biggest city is now the second least affordable city on the entire planet, beaten only by Hong Kong. Melbourne, Brisbane and Adelaide are all officially rated as severely unaffordable. This isn't bad luck. This is systemic failure. For any young person who manages against all odds to scrape together a deposit, the punishment continues. They are signing up for a lifetime of debt slavery. On an average salary of just over $100,000, you'll be forking out around $1,000 a week in mortgage repayments. That's more than half of your pre-tax income just to keep a roof over your head. That's before you've paid for food, electricity, transport, or a single bill. Even a couple earning a combined $200,000 a year is being told by the banks they can only afford a unit, 40 kilometres from their workplace. This isn't a lifestyle complaint. This is a life sentence, and don't think you can escape by renting. The rental market is a bloodbath. Vacancy rates are stuck at a catastrophic 1%. Finding a place to live is a desperate, soul-crushing battle. And if you find one, you'll be handing over a third of your income for the privilege of living in a property you'll never own. This isn't a functioning market. It's a protection racket. And the government is holding the door open for the criminals. We're not just talking about numbers on a spreadsheet here. We're talking about the crushing psychological weight on a generation. The constant gnawing anxiety of knowing that one rent increase, one unexpected bill, could tip you over the edge into homelessness. The feeling of being stuck on a hamster wheel, running faster and faster just to stay in the same place, while the dream of a stable future slips further and further away. It's a betrayal of the highest order. So what are our political masters doing about this national disaster? They're making it worse. Every solution they roll out is nothing more than a can of petrol thrown onto a raging inferno. Take the government's flagship policy, the First Home Guarantee Scheme.
Yeah, the scheme will allow first home buyers to purchase with just a 5% deposit.
It sounds great, doesn't it? Helping young Aussies get into the market with a smaller deposit. The problem? Even the Prime Minister and the Governor of the Reserve Bank admit it's likely to push house prices even higher. Why? Because it does nothing to fix the actual problem. It doesn't add a single new home to the market. All it does is pump more money into a supply-starved system, driving up demand and making the problem worse for everyone else. The RBA Governor, Michelle Bullock, called it what it is: demand-side sugar, when the real problem is a lack of supply. And what about that supply? The government has made a big, bold promise: 1.2 million new homes by 2029. It's a great headline. The only problem is it's pure fantasy, a lie. To hit that target, we need to be building 240,000 homes a year. Our current completion rate? Around 190,000, and it's getting worse. Building approvals are in free fall. They fell another 6% in August after an 8% drop in July. Approvals for apartments and units, the very type of housing we desperately need, are falling the fastest, down a staggering 8.1%. The government's grand plan isn't just off track, it's derailed, crashed, and is currently on fire in a ditch. And the RBA governor knows it. In a moment of shocking honesty, she admitted she's not confident it's going to make any impact in the next 2 years. In other words, don't expect any help before the next election. It's a disgrace. It's a level of incompetence that would get you fired from any other job in the country. But in Canberra, it gets you a pat on the back and a photo op. The Housing Minister, Claire O'Neill, had the nerve to say, homes don't get built overnight, but we are seeing a real turnaround. A real turnaround? Building approvals are plummeting, the housing shortage is getting worse, and the RBA governor is telling you to your face that your plan is a dud. What planet are these people living on? They're not just failing, they're lying to our faces about it. So why can't we just build more houses? Because the entire construction industry is at a breaking point. We don't have a housing problem, we have a construction problem. In the last couple of years, the cost to build anything has skyrocketed by 40 to 50%. Delays are blowing out by 40%. No developer in their right mind is going to sign a contract to build affordable housing when the numbers simply don't stack up. The land value, the material costs, the labour, it's a suicide mission. They can only make money building luxury apartments for wealthy downsizers, not starter homes for young families. And even if they wanted to build, they can't find the people to do it. We have a crippling shortage of tradespeople. A bricklayer mate of mine told me that none of his crew work for builders anymore. They all go out and work for themselves, charging a fortune because the demand is insane. The government can announce 1 million new homes, but if there's no one to lay the bricks, pour the concrete, or wire the lights, it's just hot air. This is the direct result of decades of terrible planning. We've underfunded TAFE, we've devalued trades, and we've relied on a boom and bust cycle of construction that has left the industry broken. And now, we are all paying the price. The government created this chokehold, and they have no idea how to fix it. When you put it all together, the picture is terrifying. A young person in Australia today starts their working life behind the 8 ball. They leave university with $50,000 of HECS debt. If they try to save for a deposit, the interest they earn is taxed at their highest marginal rate. The government punishes them for saving. If they finally get a loan, They're chained to a 30-year mortgage that will consume half their income. This is more than just a financial problem. This is a social and cultural catastrophe. The security and stability that comes with a roof over your head is essential. It's the foundation upon which you build a life, start a family, and plan for the future. We are robbing an entire generation of that foundation. We are creating a generation of renters, forever insecure, forever at the mercy of landlords and rising rents. A generation of nomads unable to put down roots in a community. This is the quiet collapse of the Australian dream, and it's happening right under our noses while our politicians live in their multi-million-dollar mansions, completely insulated from the crisis they have created. They tinker at the edges, they make grand announcements, but they refuse to make the hard decisions that are needed. They won't reform the taxes that reward property hoarding. They won't properly link migration to housing supply. They won't invest in the infrastructure and new cities that we desperately need. They created this crisis through bad planning, bad tax design, and endless self-serving tinkering, and they are not going to fix it. Not unless we force them to. This is our country. This is our future. We cannot stand by and watch as they sell it down the river. If you're as outraged by this as I am, you need to get informed and get loud. And you need to support the channels that are brave enough to tell you the truth. The mainstream media is part of the problem. We are the resistance. Join our Patreon, share this video, and let's wake Australia up before the dream is gone for good. The link is in the description. Let's show them we won't be ignored. To see the latest Australian crisis, click this video here.